Let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair and felt like your legs just weren't there? Not pain exactly, just weakness, wobbliness, a small delay. Maybe you had to grab the table. Maybe you sat back down. Maybe you told yourself, it's just old age. But I'm here to tell you, it's not just age, and it's not just you. As a doctor with 50 years of experience treating older adults across the U.S., I'll say this loud and clear. Weak legs are one of the most dangerous signs of muscle loss. And for millions of Americans over 60, they're the first step toward walkers, canes, and even wheelchairs. Not because of injury, but because of something called sarcopenia, silent muscle wasting that sneaks up on you with every year. The good news? We can fight back. There are safe, natural herbs that support leg strength, rebuild muscle, reduce joint pain, and give you the energy to move with confidence again. Today, I'll walk you through 7 powerful herbs, real science, real stories, and a daily plan you can start tomorrow morning. And before we begin, let me ask you, have you ever felt your legs give out without warning? If yes, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I'd still love to know you're here. Let's get started, because your strength isn't gone. It's just waiting to be rebuilt. Number 1, turmeric and ginger, the anti-pain duo that restores movement. Let me tell you something I've seen more times than I can count. A strong man once proud of his stride now avoids stairs. A kind woman who used to walk to the grocery store now clutches the armrest just to stand. It always starts the same. A little pain in the knees, a little stiffness in the morning, then suddenly walking to the mailbox feels like a mountain hike. That was the case for Mr. Howard, a 74-year-old retired school teacher from Toledo, Ohio. He walked into my clinic one winter afternoon, rubbing his knees and saying, "Doc, I used to walk 2 miles every morning. Now I can barely make it to the mailbox without stopping twice." His joints were swollen, stiff, and warm to the touch. I diagnosed him with moderate osteoarthritis, one of the most common causes of leg weakness after 60. Now listen, this is important. Osteoarthritis affects nearly 1 in 3 seniors in the United States, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And while medications like ibuprofen can help temporarily, they often come with serious side effects: stomach ulcers, kidney strain, and even heart risks, especially when taken daily. So instead, I introduced Mr. Howard to something older than any drug on my shelf: turmeric. Not a supplement fad, not internet nonsense. I'm talking about the golden spice used in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries, and now backed by science from places like Johns Hopkins, Harvard Medical School, and the Mayo Clinic. Why turmeric? Because it contains a compound called curcumin, one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories we know. A 2021 study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology showed that 500 milligrams of curcumin taken twice a day significantly reduced joint pain in older adults, with fewer side effects than standard drugs. Here's how it works. Curcumin blocks enzymes like COX2, the same ones that medications like ibuprofen target, but without damaging your stomach or kidneys. It doesn't just dull the pain, it protects cartilage from breaking down and helps maintain joint space. With Mr. Howard, I started him on a high-absorption turmeric supplement, 500 milligrams twice a day, paired with black pepper extract, which increases curcumin absorption by over 2,000%. 6 weeks later, he came back smiling. He said, "Doc, I walked the park trail again. The stiffness is still there, but it's not winning anymore." That's what we want, not perfection, just progress. And here's where ginger joins the team. Ginger is more than a tea bag in your pantry. It's a circulatory powerhouse. While turmeric calms inflammation, ginger boosts blood flow to the legs, warms cold limbs, and reduces swelling from the inside out. It contains compounds called gingerols and shogals, which work similarly to NSAIDs, but again, without the gut damage. When paired together, turmeric and ginger form what I call the anti-pain duo. I often recommend 2 cups of fresh ginger tea daily, made by slicing real ginger root into hot water with a dash of lemon and honey. And don't be afraid to cook with them. A teaspoon of turmeric stirred into your morning eggs, and a bit of fresh ginger in your soup at lunch. That's medicine in disguise. So let me ask you something. Have you tried turmeric or ginger before for your joint pain or leg weakness? If yes, comment 1. If not yet, type 0, and let me know if you're curious to try. Because the journey to stronger legs doesn't always begin with pills. Sometimes it begins with a cup of tea and a little faith. And if these two roots can bring you back on your feet, just wait until you meet the herb that fights the most silent enemy of all: muscle loss driven by stress. Let's talk about ashwagandha, the root of inner strength. Number 2, ashwagandha, rebuilding muscle from the inside out. Let me tell you something most doctors don't talk about enough. Not all muscle loss happens because of age. Sometimes it happens because of stress. And I am not talking about the kind of stress you can see. I am talking about the invisible kind, the kind that sits in your bloodstream for years, eating away at your strength without making a sound. There is a name for it. It is called cortisol. It is a hormone. And when it stays too high, too long, it tells your body to break down muscle. I saw this firsthand with one of my favorite patients, Elaine Turner. She is a 69-year-old retired librarian from Pittsburgh, graceful, quiet, steady as a rock. Until one day she said something that stopped me cold. She said, "Doctor, I sleep 8 hours, I eat fine, but I still wake up feeling like I have bricks tied to my legs." That is when I knew this wasn't just aging. This was chronic fatigue and muscle breakdown, likely caused by high cortisol. Her lab work confirmed it. Her muscle mass had decreased by over 15% in just 1 year. No major illness, no injury, just the body silently giving in. So I introduced Elaine to something gentle but powerful: ashwagandha. This herb has been used in Indian Ayurvedic medicine for over 2,000 years. But what made me recommend it to Elaine wasn't ancient wisdom alone. It was modern science. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that adults over the age of 60 who took 500 milligrams of standardized ashwagandha extract every evening showed noticeable improvements in muscle strength, energy, and sleep, all within 8 weeks. Here is how it works. Ashwagandha helps lower cortisol, and when cortisol drops to healthy levels, your body can finally stop tearing down muscle and start rebuilding it. It is like hitting the brakes on a slow-motion car crash. I told Elaine to take 1 capsule of 500 milligrams before bed. Within a month, her energy began to return. After 2 months, she told me something I will never forget. She said, "I walked my dogs to the park and back, and I didn't have to lie down afterward." Now that is progress. That is strength. And it's not just about walking. It's about self-respect, about being able to carry your own groceries, to garden, to hold your grandchild and not worry about your legs shaking. Ashwagandha gave Elaine more than energy. It gave her dignity. That is why I call this herb the root of inner strength, because when your body calms down, your muscles have a chance to rise again. And here's the thing. Most seniors I meet are not just tired in the legs. They are tired in the soul. They feel like they are slowing down faster than they expected. But the truth is, it does not have to stay that way. So let me ask you, have you ever woken up tired, even after a full night's sleep? Do your legs feel heavy by mid-morning? If you relate, type the number 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. But stick around. You might need this one day. Now you might be wondering, what happens when the inflammation is so deep in the joints that it feels like every step is a battle? Well, there is another herb that answers that call. It is spicy, it is warming, and it has been hiding in your kitchen all along. Up next, we talk about ginger and how it wakes up not just your legs, but your whole sense of movement. Number 3, ginger, the root that wakes up your legs. Let me tell you something most people never connect. That morning stiffness, that jolt of pain when you stand up from your recliner, that wobbly first step across the kitchen floor. It is not just old joints. It is not just getting older. It is your body quietly telling you, "I need better circulation. I need warmth. I need help." And when I hear that, I think of one thing: ginger, not the candy, not the cookie. I mean real ginger, the root. It might sound simple, but inside that twisted little root is something powerful. Ginger holds compounds called gingerols and shogols, and they are nature's way of reducing inflammation and boosting blood flow. I saw it in action with one of my longtime patients, James Reynolds. James is 76 years old, a Vietnam veteran, a former car mechanic. Tough as nails. But when he came into my clinic, his eyes told a different story. He said, "Doc, I've faced worse, but this pain in my legs, it's starting to win." His balance was off. His ankles were swollen. The first steps in the morning were pure misery. X-rays showed moderate degeneration in his knees and hips. But that was not the full picture. The real culprit was deep inflammation, the kind that makes joints feel hot, tight, and untrustworthy. So I gave him a prescription, not a pill, a tea, 2 cups of fresh ginger tea every day, not the store-bought kind. We sliced raw ginger root, boiled it for 10 minutes, added lemon and a touch of honey. He also started adding grated ginger into his soups, stews, and even salad dressing. After 3 weeks, the stiffness began to soften. After 6 weeks, James told me something that nearly made me cry. He said, "I walked to the post office today, not because I had to, but because I wanted to." You see, ginger doesn't erase 40 years of wear and tear, but it restores confidence. It softens pain, and it brings movement back into your day, one step at a time. And let me be clear, this isn't guesswork. The National Institutes of Health published a study showing that 2 grams of ginger per day, that's about 1 teaspoon, can reduce muscle pain and improve mobility in older adults when combined with light activity. It also helps improve blood circulation, especially to the legs and feet. That means less numbness, less cramping, less cold feet at night. Ginger helps your body feel awake again, from the ground up. So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like your legs just do not want to move in the morning, like they belong to someone else? If so, type 1 in the comments. If you have not felt that yet, type 0. And keep this in mind. You might help a friend or spouse with it someday. The bottom line, you are not stuck. You are not broken. You just need the right support, 1 cup of warmth at a time. And if ginger can unlock stiffness, wait until you meet the miracle tree that helps rebuild muscle, restore energy, and fill in the nutritional gaps your aging body may be missing. We are talking about something called Moringa, and it is up next. Number 4, Moringa, the tree that feeds your muscles back to life. Let me tell you something most seniors don't realize until it's too late. Muscle doesn't just disappear because of age. It fades away because your body doesn't have the tools to rebuild it. And those tools are nutrients, the right minerals, the right protein, the right building blocks. But here's the catch. As we age, our appetite shrinks, our digestion slows down, and suddenly we're not eating enough to keep our legs strong. This isn't laziness, it's silent malnourishment. That's exactly what I saw with one of my patients, Carol Simmons, 82 years old, a widow. Used to play piano at her church every Sunday for 30 years. She came to me with a quiet, worried voice and said, "Doctor, I think I'm shrinking." She was right. Her legs were thinner. Her posture had collapsed inward. She couldn't stand at the sink for more than 5 minutes. We ran blood work. She was low on iron, vitamin D, magnesium, and calcium. All are essential for muscle strength and joint stability. She wasn't sick, but her body was slowly starving where it mattered most, the muscles that hold you up. That's when I introduced her to one of the most nutrient-dense plants on earth, Moringa. Some call it the miracle tree. I just call it a lifeline. Moringa leaves are packed with plant-based protein, iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium, all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to rebuild muscle. It's like giving your muscles a complete meal, even when your appetite is small. And here's the beauty of it. Just 1 teaspoon of moringa powder stirred into oatmeal or warm water can make a real difference. It's easy to absorb, easy to digest, easy to stick with. Within 6 weeks of starting moringa every morning, Carol's energy began returning. Her grip strength improved. She stood taller, And then one day she looked me in the eye and said, I sat down at the piano last week and I played through the whole hymn. My legs didn't shake. My back didn't hurt. I felt like myself again. That's what Moringa does. It doesn't give you muscle like a bodybuilder. It gives you your rhythm back. That gentle stability, that quiet endurance, that moment when you rise from a chair without needing to think about it. Let's be honest. How many times have you skipped a meal because you weren't hungry? How often do you rely on toast or crackers because they're easy to chew? Those small choices, over time, add up. They rob your muscles of what they need most. Moringa fills in the gaps, and science agrees. A 2022 study published by the National Institute on Aging showed that seniors who consume plant-based protein sources rich in antioxidants experienced slower muscle loss and better mobility than those with low nutrient intake. So let me ask you, have you ever felt like your legs are getting thinner, even though your weight hasn't changed? Do you notice your energy dipping before noon? If you've seen these signs, drop a 1 in the comments. If not yet, type 0 and stay curious. Because Moringa may be small, but its strength runs deep. And sometimes what your legs need isn't exercise, it's nourishment. And while Moringa builds you up from the inside, the next herb helps take away something that breaks seniors down every day. Pain, the deep kind, the kind that makes you avoid walking altogether. Let's talk about Boswellia, nature's answer to joint pain. Number 5, Boswellia, the herb that soothes the joints you no longer trust. There's a kind of pain that changes how you live, not the sharp kind, not the kind you scream about, the kind that shows up when you stand too long, when you sit too long, when you try to walk across a parking lot and suddenly freeze. That's not just arthritis. That's fear. Fear of your own body. Fear of your knees locking up. Fear of falling in front of people you love. And let me tell you, I've seen that fear in the eyes of so many of my patients, like Leonard Baker, 78 years old, retired firefighter from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Strong hands, strong heart. But when he came in for a checkup, he said something that made me pause. He said, Doc, I stopped going to church. Not because I don't want to, but I'm scared I'll freeze halfway down the aisle. Leonard had osteoarthritis in both knees. His hips were starting to narrow too. Morning stiffness, trouble standing. Constant dull pain. He had tried ibuprofen, and it helped, until it gave him a bleeding ulcer. He couldn't take NSAIDs anymore. His kidneys were borderline. His options were limited. So I gave him a different kind of relief, one that didn't come in a prescription bottle. Boswellia serrata, also known as Indian frankincense. Now don't let the name fool you. This herb is no incense. It is a clinical-grade anti-inflammatory used in traditional medicine for centuries, and now supported by real research. In fact, a study published in Arthritis Research and Therapy showed that patients who took 300 milligrams of Boswellia extract twice a day experienced reduced joint pain, improved flexibility, slower cartilage breakdown, all without the stomach damage or kidney strain that comes with conventional drugs. Here's how it works. Boswellia blocks an enzyme in your body called 5-lipoxygenase. This enzyme produces inflammatory molecules that attack your joints. When you block it, inflammation drops, pain fades, and mobility begins to return. With Leonard, we started slowly. 1 capsule, twice daily. Within 4 weeks, he noticed something different. He could get up from his recliner without rocking forward. He could stand without holding the armrest. And by week 8, he was back at his bowling league. He said, I don't throw strikes anymore, but at least I can bend my knees without feeling like they're made of glass. That's what Boswellia does. It doesn't erase the years, but it gives you back trust in your own body. It lets you move without flinching, sit without bracing, stand without wondering, will my joints hold this time? Let me ask you something. Have you ever skipped an event, a church service, a dinner, a walk with your grandkids, because you were afraid of the pain? Be honest. If yes, type 1 in the comments. If no, type 0. And I'm proud of you for staying active. Pain doesn't have to be the price we pay for a long life. You deserve comfort, you deserve movement, and most of all, You deserve to feel safe inside your own body. Boswellia is one way to get there. And when combined with the herbs we've already discussed, turmeric, ginger, moringa, it becomes part of a daily rhythm of relief. But even when your joints feel better, there's another issue many seniors still face. That wobbly feeling, that dizziness, that sensation like your legs aren't connected to your brain anymore. And it turns out that might not be your legs at all. It might be circulation. And the herb we turn to next helps more than just the body. It helps the veins. It helps the brain. It helps your balance. Let's talk about Gotu Kola. Number 6, Gotu Kola, the hidden herb that reconnects legs, brain, and balance. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood up and suddenly felt like the ground shifted? Not pain, not dizziness, just a strange disconnection. Like your brain told your legs to move, but your legs didn't quite listen. If that's happened to you, you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not your fault. Because sometimes the problem isn't in your legs. It's in your circulation. It's in your nervous system. It's in the hidden pathways between your brain and your body. And that's where Gotu Kola comes in. Now, you've probably never heard of this one, but Gotu Kola is a small green herb that has been used in traditional medicine in Asia for centuries. And today, we're seeing real science catch up with what healers have known for generations. Gotu Kola helps strengthen blood vessel walls, improve vein elasticity, and increase circulation, especially in the lower legs. And even more important, it supports your central nervous system. That means better balance, better coordination, fewer falls. Let me tell you about Bernice Caldwell, 81 years old, retired postal clerk from Pennsylvania, lived alone, always on her feet, until suddenly she couldn't trust her legs. She told me, "Doctor, I feel like my legs don't belong to me anymore. They tingle, they feel heavy, and I've fallen twice this year." I examined her. Mild swelling in the ankles, blue visible veins, sluggish circulation, slight nerve delay in her foot reflexes, classic signs of venous insufficiency combined with early neuropathy. And for older adults, this is one of the top reasons they lose their independence. So I made a plan. We introduced Gotu Kola tea into her daily routine. 1 cup in the morning, 1 in the evening. Plus light walking and leg elevation after dinner. And here's what happened. By week 4, the swelling had gone down. By week 6, Bernice said something I will never forget. She said, "I don't panic when I stand up anymore. I feel more connected to my legs." That's the kind of healing we want. You see, Gotu Kola is not flashy, it's not trendy, but it quietly helps your body reconnect, one vessel at a time. And there's science to back this up. A 2023 review published in Phytomedicine found that Gotu Kola significantly improved balance, circulation, and nerve conduction in older adults with chronic venous disorders. It's even been shown to enhance cognitive function, making it one of the few herbs that supports both mind and muscle at the same time. So let me ask you, have you ever felt unsteady, like your legs didn't get the message your brain was sending? Have you feared falling? If yes, type 1 in the comments. If not yet, type 0. And keep this tip for someone you care about. Because balance is not just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It's the quiet confidence of knowing your body will support you, not betray you. And Gotu Kola is a small but powerful step in that direction. Now, there's one final piece of this healing journey we haven't talked about yet, and it's not in your joints. It's not even in your legs. It's in your brain. Because no matter how strong your muscles are, if your brain forgets how to move, your body will follow. Let's close this healing journey with a final herb, one that supports clarity, confidence, and coordination. Let's talk about rosemary. Let me leave you with this. Aging is not a weakness, it's not a curse, and it's not the end of movement. It's the story of a body that has served you through decades, that has carried your memories, your family, your work, your life. But now it's asking you for something in return. It's asking for support. It's asking for care. It's asking for you to believe that healing is still possible. Because whether it's turmeric calming the fire in your joints, or moringa quietly feeding your tired muscles, or Gotu Kola reconnecting your legs to your brain, each of these herbs doesn't just help you walk better, They help you live better. I've seen it with my own patients. Hundreds of them. Men and women who once thought they were too far gone, who thought walkers and wheelchairs were inevitable, but then they started small. One cup of tea, one new habit, one honest belief. I'm not done yet, and neither are you. You deserve strength. You deserve energy. You deserve to wake up and feel like your body is still on your side. So here's what I want you to do. Pick just one herb. Start with one. Add it to your breakfast, your evening tea, your daily walk, then come back and tell me how it felt. Type yes in the comments if you're going to try one of these. And if you've already tried some, tell me your story, because your story just might inspire someone else to stand up again. And if you're wondering, what should I take with these herbs to rebuild my muscles after 60? Then I have something powerful for you. In the next video, we'll uncover these 5 powders that rebuild strength after 60, including what to mix, when to drink them, and how to feel results in days. Believe me, you won't want to miss that. So click the next video. And remember, your legs still have a future, and you still have miles left to walk.